Okay. Alright, Safari Limited. What can I say? You did it. I don't think it needed to happen, but you did it. You gave us yet another Triceratops toy. And by God, you did a phenomenal job. This is a beautiful, beautiful piece of plastic right here. I'm speechless. I don't think I've ever seen a Triceratops toy that's struck me this hard. I still don't think we needed one, but if we were going to get another one, I think this is the best possible outcome. Yes, this is the new for 2018 Safari Limited Triceratops toy. I do apologize, he is out of his packaging and without a tag, and that's because he came from a friend who took him out of the packaging and removed the tag for me, and then they just went ahead and shipped it out to me. So that's the story there, but my goodness, this is a beautiful figure, and I think it's time we take a closer look at it. Let's do this! So, starting off at the head as we usually do, Safari Limited hit the ground running with their detail on this face. I mean, just look at that. Every area has been sculpted with scales of individual and varying sizes, which is just gorgeous to see. The eye is incredibly lifelike, with a high level of gloss to really make it shine and come alive, and even the nostrils have been given a little gloss to give them a nice, wet, slobbery, boogery look, which is cool. The mouth is open, they sculpted in a tongue and gave it a little gloss to make it shine, and the iconic three horns of Triceratops have been sculpted here with some lovely forms and shapes. They have not been textured or weathered, but the paint job that they did on them with the shadowy sort of gradiating out as we go up higher is gorgeous. The beak has been sculpted as well, as you can see, and it does have just a little bit of texture on there, but not anything too incredible. The frill has been sculpted in a glorious shape, really does justice to the species. I love the head on this thing, it's beautiful. Going down the body, as you can see, Safari Limited sculpted in all of those individual scales and even included the little nipple-like bumps on some of them, which matches the skin impressions found of Triceratops to a T, and this sort of texturing and detail level goes all the way down across the entire body, all the way to the tip of that stubby little Triceratops tail. It's just beautiful stuff. The back of the neck, as you can see, since the head is being craned upwards, has some lovely folds of skin as the skin pushes and bunches up next to each other. A lovely detail. So glad to see that they attended to that and paid attention to how the skin would move on this creature. The gut also has some lovely lizard-like wrinkles bunching up and folding around the thigh and the bicep. Always love seeing that on the dinosaur figures. It's always just such a cool detail. And as you can see, the other side has the same level of detail and texture. It's just, this model hits all notes, I feel like, in the sculptural department. I really have no complaints on it from that standpoint. The legs, as you can see, are sculpted in a sort of walking position, with the right front leg being placed gingerly back on the ground as the left leg braces, and the left arm braces, and the left back leg curls up in a step. The feet do have the correct number of digits, even the two sort of side digits, and the toe claws have been painted, but not weathered, which is unfortunate. But there's some lovely sculpted musculature, and the folds in the skin around the joint feel both natural and lifelike. And again, you've got scales of varying sizes adorning the entire legs. The back legs also have some lovely musculature, as you can see going up the tail. Just past the tail, as you look at the calf there, that's glorious. That's beautiful, how incredibly lifelike the calves are, and how they paid attention to how the muscles would contract and pull in the walking position that they're in. They even sculpted the ankle and the soles of the feet, which is beautiful. The underbelly features all of the details, Safari Limited 2018, all that good stuff, plus a cloaca, which is always a lovely detail to see on dinosaur figures. And it even has scales of a different style sculpted along the belly. It's almost alligator-like, these scales. They're more rectangular, not hexagonal like the rest of the scales. And then once we get to the neck, we seem to go back to the regular shape. And you've also got a lovely tendon pulling away from the neck as the creature lets out a cry, and the jaw muscles have been sculpted in a beautiful and natural way here. Now for the paint. The paint is a little uninspired on this model. It's just mostly blacks, but they gradiate really nicely, especially on the face. You look at the underbelly colors of the yellows, and that just gradiates so nicely. It's so natural. There is never a point where my eyes like, oh, obvious, okay, they just change colors. It flows and moves so naturally together that it looks like a legitimate organism. It doesn't feel like a paint job. The frills have a splash of color. That is one area where I feel like it is a little garish and haphazardly applied because there is no gradation. It's just the splashes of yellow. But I can forgive it because frills may have been used as mating displays or threat displays. Now, again, we do have some paint blemishes there on the frill. You can see where the black has been rubbed away around that yellow area. And I know this came from a friend, so perhaps in transit it was damaged, so I'll give Safari Limited the benefit of the doubt. The horns also feature some paint wear already, and I assure you I do not play with these figures. They just sit on my shelves, so I don't know where that paint wear would come from unless it came in transit. But given Safari Limited's performance otherwise with the more paint blemishes that I've been noticing, I wouldn't be surprised if it got to my friend like this, which is unfortunate. Even the back leg has just the smallest amount of a paint blemish there. Maybe I'm looking too hard, but I notice these things, and I'm sure other people do too, and I really hope Safari Limited has not let their quality control slip. Now, as for the size of this model, like I said, it did surprise me. It was much, much bigger than I ever expected it to be, and as a result, much heftier than I expected it to be. But just how big is it? Well, let's bring in our trusty dusty canvas ruler and find out. So from the tip of the tail all the way to the front of the snout, you're looking at right around 8 inches long, and then from the base all the way to the highest point, which is going to be the horns in this case, you're looking at 4 inches off the ground. So yes, much bigger than their other ceratopsians, and quite the hefty piece of plastic too, let me add. Alright, for size comparison, we're going to go ahead and bring in the also new for 2018 Safari Limited Regaliceratops. And despite the fact that I think the paint job is much better on this Regaliceratops, as you can see, the size is no comparison. The Triceratops is much, much larger than this other ceratopsian, and perhaps they're to scale. I really don't know the ceratopsian size ranges, but I'm sure Safari had that planned in mind when they did this. Next up, we're going to bring in the older version of Safari Limited's Triceratops, and this is why I don't think we necessarily needed another one. This older Triceratops still holds up after all this time. Although the new one does have merits that the old one does not, I certainly don't think we need it. We should have been in any rush to replace that older model, because I still think that that one is a beautiful model after all of this time. Alright, and next up for size comparisons, we're gonna bring in the Triceratops Ancient Enemy. The Tyrannosaurus Rex. These two are locked in deadly combat since the dawn of time. Oh man, this is fun. I love having these two next to each other. They really fit well together, and they size up pretty fittingly next to each other. Safari Limited did a great job creating a nice duo. One that would look great for dioramas or would look great for collecting, and is great for the kids too. I can see kids having fun playtimes with these two models, so good on you, Safari Limited, with that. They are both aesthetically pleasing to the eye and look good together. And hopefully if you have the 2017 Feathered Tyrannosaurus Rex, you can get a better idea of the kind of size you can expect from this Triceratops. Like I said, I think they size up pretty well next to each other, and they are definitely fun to have and to display together. So if you're going to get one, you got to get the other. That's my 6th sense. Well, guys, that's going to do it for Killer Shrew fans' look at the Triceratops from Safari Limited's 2018 lineup. Overall, this is a truly gorgeous figure, the most accurate Triceratops that is on the market as of now, and really, so detailed and so well painted. Well, the paint job's a little boring, but the way that they painted it is very pleasing to the eye. So all things considered, I think I'm going to go ahead and give this figure a 9 out of 10. It is so close to being a perfect model. I just wish they had textured those horns, given it a little more of an interesting paint job, and we probably would have been on a different story there. But as always, I want to know what you guys think of this model. Love it? Hate it? I mean, if you hate it, why? Why would you hate this model? Do you own the old one? Do you think it was time for another Triceratops toy? What's your favorite version of the Triceratops in toy form? Let me know all of your thoughts down in the comments below. Also, if you want us to take a look at any dinosaur model, give us a shout down below. We'd be happy to do any requested reviews for you guys. As always, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed our look today. If you did, don't be afraid to let us know by hitting that like button. And also, don't forget to subscribe on your way out so that you don't miss any of our future reviews. Thank you guys again so much for tuning in. It's been fun taking a look at Safari's new for 2018 lineup. We've got one more non-dinosaur species we're going to take a look at. What's it going to be? You'll just have to wait and see. Alright, thank you guys so much one more time. And Killer Shrew Fan, out.